sent under skies that knew your name. Every word you never said still echoes through the rain. The nights grew long without your light, the stars forgot our tune. I held on to a fading dream while you were gone too soon. I searched for you in every sound, in every empty room, but love doesn't answer when silence blooms. This is a love that never returns, a flame that died but still it burns. I gave you all I had to give, you were the reason I believe. This is a heart still calling out to someone who won't turn around. I stayed, you learned to let me go, a love that never came back home. The seasons changed, I stayed the same, still living in our past. Every road still leads to you, though I know it won't last. Your shadow dances on my wall when the night gets cold. I loved you more than words could say, more than I ever told. I tried to be enough for two, try to hold what slipped away, but some goodbyes are written before we get to say. Someone who won't turn around. I stayed, you learned to let me go, a love that never came back home. If time could bend, I'd let you stay. If fate were kind, you'd choose me. But love is not a promise kept, it's a memory. This was a love that never returned, but I was changed by every word. I'll carry you, but I'll move on. Even when the night feels long, I'll let you go into the dark. Still you live inside my heart. Not every love is meant to stay, some are meant to fade away. I loved you, even when you didn't come back.
She stood where the daylight faded, same street, same silent sign. Every promise time erased, she kept alive in her mind. The world kept turning without him. Seasons learned to move on, but she stayed right where he left her, under skies that felt so long. The clouds would change, the years would fly, still hope refused to die. She whispered prayers into the blue, wondering if he ever looked up too. She waited under the same waiting under skies once shared by two. Letters written, never sent, words she never dared to say, all the love she never spent slowly learned to fade away. People said time will heal, but time just taught her how to hide. She smiled through the open days and cried alone at night. Every plane across the sky carried dreams she couldn't chase. She learned how hope can hurt when it wears a familiar face. She waited under the same sky, watching moments slip on by. Still she chose to believe somehow love would find its way back down. She waited while the seasons changed, while everything but her rearranged. He moved on, she stayed true, waiting under skies once shared by two. One day she looked up and realized the sky had never changed at all. It wasn't him she waited for, it was herself she lost along the fall. She waited under the same sky until she learned to say goodbye. Not every love is meant to stay, some just teach us how to walk away. She lifted her eyes, breathed in new air, left her heart, but kept the care. The sky remained wide and true. She stopped waiting and started new. She waited until she didn't have to anymore.
We talked like nothing was ending, like time was still on our side. Every word felt so unfinished, every truth learned how to hide.
You smiled like we had tomorrow. I believed every lie. We stood at the edge of forever, but never said goodbye.
I thought silence meant we were safe,
that love would somehow stay.
oh, but some hearts leave quietly
Without a word to say.
This is the goodbye that was never said, still screaming inside my head. We walked away like nothing changed, but nothing was ever the same.
No tears fell, no doors were closed, just a love that slowly froze. You left without a sound, the goodbye that was never found.
Your name still lives in the small things, in songs I don't choose to play. Every road feels slightly broken since you went your separate way.
I replay the last conversation, searching for a sign.
Oh, but all I hear is the silence where your voice
Used to be mine. If I knew that was the last time, I would have held on longer then. But endings don't warn the heart, they just pretend. This is the goodbye that was never said, still screaming inside my head. We walked away like nothing changed, but nothing was ever the same. No tears fell, no doors were closed, just a love that slowly froze. You left without a sound. Goodbye that was never found. Maybe goodbyes are too heavy for hearts afraid to break, so we leave things unfinished and call it fate.
This was the goodbye that was never said, but it followed me instead.
I learned some love doesn't loud, it disappears in the crowd. I won't wait for words you owe, I'll release what we didn't know. Not every ending needs a sound.
Some goodbyes just fade out. We never said goodbye,
But somehow you still left.
We never burned, we slowly dim, like daylight losing form. Every touch grew careful, trying not to start a storm. We spoke in almost sentences and half-kept memories. Love was there between us, just afraid of what it'd be. I felt it slipping through my hands, like sand I couldn't hold. Not every loss comes crashing down, some just grow cold. This is where love learned to let go, not with tears, not all at once. It loosened its grip in silence when the fighting was already done. No shattered hearts, no last request, just two souls growing distant. This is where love learned to let go, without ever being violent.
Your laugh still lived in the quiet, but it didn't feel like mine. I knew the end was coming before we crossed the line. I stayed for all the right reasons, you stayed out of fear. Love can fade so gently, you don't notice till it's clear.
I stopped asking you to stay, you stopped asking me why. Sometimes letting go begins before goodbye. This is where love learned to let go, not with screams, not with blame, just two hearts choosing peace over calling out a name. No we were then and who we'll be someday.
This was where love learned to let go, and I learned to stay whole. I thanked you for the chapters, even if you weren't the goal. I don't regret
The way we felt, or the nights we couldn't save. Some loves don't end in heartbreak, they end in grace.
I didn't lose you. I released you. I still remember us in quiet places where nothing hurt just yet, laughing like the world was gentle, like love was a safe bet. Your hand felt warm in mine, like it always knew the way. We didn't talk about forever, we just lived inside that day. I didn't know those moments were already turning past. Some things don't break suddenly, they don't last. I still remember us before the cracks appeared, before silence learned your name, before love turned into fear. I still remember us, not to hold you, not to stay, just to honor what we were before it slipped away. Your voice still lives in certain songs, I don't skip them anymore. I've learned that pain gets softer when you stop fighting the door. I don't wish things were different, I don't ask for one more chance. Some love is just a moment, the time doesn't let you keep in hands. I carried you for so long, afraid to put you down, but memories don't disappear when you lay them gently on the ground. I still remember us, without the ache, without the blame, just two hearts learning something new, even if they didn't stay the same. I still remember us, and that's where it feels okay. Not every love must last forever to deserve to stay. Maybe love is not possession, maybe it's a trace, something that shapes who we become, then gives us space. I still remember us with kindness now, not with tears, not with regret. You were real, and so was I. That's not something I forget. I don't need you back in my life to say it mattered, to say it's true. I still remember us, and I'm finally okay with you. Some loves don't without the weight today. The wind felt wider than before. Your name didn't haunt the silence. It rested by the door. I thought I'd miss the way it hurt, a proof that love was real. But healing came so quietly, I barely felt it heal. I used to measure time by you, every hour, every sound. Now the days don't look behind them, they're facing forward now. And then I let the light in, but all at once, just slow. I learned my heart was not broken, just tired of holding all alone. I didn't erase the memories, I didn't close the door, I just stuck waiting in the dark for what wasn't coming anymore. I found myself in simple things, in mornings and the rain. And life without apologizing for being okay again. Love didn't leave me empty, it taught me how to stay. Some people are a chapter, not the book you're meant to play. I don't ask what if anymore, I wish for different lands. I thank the past for shaping me, then breathe and let it end. And then I left the light where the shadows used to stay. I stopped calling it survival and started calling it my way. I kept the love, I lost the fear. I kept the truth, not the pain. I'll be leader to feel whole again. Maybe love was never meant to be the thing that saves us. Maybe it was meant to show how strong we are without it breaking us. So let the light worry now. I see myself so clear. Not as someone who once loved, This is moonlight.